So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Eazy Conversations. Thanks a lot to everyone who listened to the last episode featuring the homies Matt, Brandon, and I. Brandon, you absolutely killed it on here, and we look forward to having you on again down the road. So, now for episode 176 of Eazy Conversations, I'm extremely excited, of course, to be back in the studio virtually with the homie Matt. So, what's up with the people?
What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day right now. It's minus 300 outside here, so it's a perfect day for us to be podcasting, and I'm super excited for today's episode. I can't wait to dive into it. Why don't you let everyone know what we're going to be doing right now?
Absolutely. So now we're at the second stage in our list of top 10s sequence, in which we're going to be going over, in a sense, similar to the top 10 hip hop show we just did in terms of difficulty grading and ranking these TV shows of 2025. So we're on to the next stage, top 10 TV shows of the year. Always one I really look forward to. I feel like we keep saying this, but it's true. We're in a golden age of TV right now. Just a plethora of shows to choose from every single week, really. There seems to be at least one series to follow along. So you're never really in a drought in terms of something to watch when it comes to TV. And yeah, 2025, stacked year. I had a really hard time putting together my top 10, Matt, and I will just say, so we record at 3 p.m. right now. I made a last minute change at 2:58 p.m. It's razor sharp margins here in terms of what could go, not only what could be in the top 10, but what could be where in the top 10. I feel like I have a few shows, like at the top of the lineup, it was pretty clear what was going to be where, but realistically from like 4 to 10, anything could have been anywhere. So I'm excited to get into it, but before we do, what was your top 10 curating experience like?
My experience is like yours, Eric, was really hard. I had more trouble deciding the order. Like I switched around some stuff in my top 5 today.
Okay.
And I had made my list like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, no, you know what? I got to go with my gut, and I'll explain later on when we get there. Also, I feel like I could have made a top 15, possibly 20, because a lot of good shows were left off the list, and maybe you'll bring them up, and I'll get to discuss them. But I did really well this year for TV watching. I watched over 30 TV shows, and it was like you said, there's always something to watch. I always had 1 or 2 shows on the go at the same time, and I feel like for 2026, there's already been shows coming out, so like it never ends, this TV show grinding, but it's really fun.
Yeah, I had 19 shows last year that I finished. Like, there's a ton of them that I started but didn't finish. But yeah, I finished 19, and most of them were really good, honestly. Like, I feel like I'm leaving off 3 shows that I really liked, if not more, and kind of same thought process for me. I hope you bring them up so then I can say what I think about them a little bit there. But if not, it's all good. So I'm curious to see. Like, there's for sure going to be a lot of overlap in our picks. I'll be shocked if we don't have like 5 of the same picks. Like, I'm setting the bar at five similar picks.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes. But seeing as I just made a change like a few minutes ago there, I'll start us off, and instead of doing a snake, let's just do like one pick each back and forth. So I can get it going here. Number 10, hot off the press. The reason why I'm including this in my top 10 is because I feel like longevity wise, this is one that I'll probably want to go back to more than the other ones I had in the 10 spot. And just thinking back, I did enjoy it a lot. It was a week to week show I was tuning in, if not on the night of, on Sunday nights, HBO primetime slot the next day. White Lotus season 3 is coming in at number 10 for me. And again, it comes down to that memorable kind of like it's an experience tuning into these shows, right? Like, you're following along these characters on this resort, seeing what's gonna happen, who's the killer, who gets killed. And in this season we got a slew of, while I don't think this season reached the heights of season 1 and 2, I was all in on Saxon. Chelsea and Rick were classic characters. The 3 women led by Michelle Monaghan, like their antics that they got up to, I wanted to find out like how that group was gonna either grow or really implode, and it seemed like it could have gone either way. The Rat Lifts were just interesting characters to follow along. Jason Isaacs, phenomenal in the lead role as the stressed out millionaire, I'm assuming, not billionaire there, but yeah, so it was just a fun ride. A lot of hilarious moments, and again, I'll just shout out again. Patrick Schwarzenegger was, in my opinion, the standout, and looking forward to seeing what he does down the road, coming off the strength of this season for him. So yeah, White Lotus season 3. Again, interesting, different show. Not as good as 1 and 2 in my opinion, but ultimately one that I have been thinking about lately. And when looking at this 10 spot, I think it's the right pick for me here.
That's a great pick, Eric. I also love this season, and you said it all, the ensemble cast. The setting was cool. The setting was great, actually. Mm-hmm. The music too, and all the seasons, it's great. But in this one too, yeah, good pick. This is one I'll just spoil it right away. This is one of those shows I like, fighting for my 10 spot that didn't make it. So I already get to talk about a show that's not on my list.
There you go. Love it.
But I'm glad you just brought it up right now, and I can give my shout out to it. It was a really good show. My number 10 is a show I watched, one of the last shows I watched, and it was very decisive. This show is very decisive. A lot of people at work recommended it and said I'd love it, and a lot of people that I talked about after watching it talked to them, and they did not like the show at all. So this is number 10 is Pluribus on Apple TV, the Vince Gilligan show with the Rhea Seehorn. Pluribus, it's really weird. It's got a lot of Invasion of the Body Snatcher influence. Like, you find out right away, like, humanity's been replaced by these, like, pod people. Everyone has a collective consciousness and is super happy and trying to get the 9 other people that haven't been affected to convert to them, and like figuring out what to do. Anyways, it's very sci-fi, Twilight Zone-y, and definitely a lot of, like, you have to accept the premise. Now, the show, Rhea Seehorn is amazing. Like, she was great in Better Call Saul, but she's even better in this show because she's in almost every scene. What I like about Pluribus is the weird premise and the absurdity of it, and just like the journey our main character goes through. Yes, it might be a little slow moving for some people, which is the criticism I've heard, but for me, it was perfectly paced, intrigued every episode, and ended on a, like, can't wait to see more of this show, basically, how it ended. So, Pluribus, I myself thought it was really original, and I really enjoyed the show.
Well, right back at you. This was a show that was in contention for number 10 as well for me, and I was kind of holding on to this show. Like, we never talked about it on the pod. I was planning on this being a surprise drop for this episode specifically. Ultimately, did not make my list, and the reason why is because while I do feel like I enjoyed every episode, I was never itching to be like, oh, I gotta watch the episode that just dropped this week. Like, it was like, oh yeah, I'll get to it at some point. That's not to take away from the show at all. It was super interesting. There's still so much unknown about it, and the world building is so cool by, shout out Vince Gilligan, looking like he's on the path to be 3 for 3 with his shows. I don't know if he's done shows before Breaking Bad, really. There, I don't want to speak on his previous work if there were many that I'm just kind of omitting here, but Pluribus is really good start. I was a big fan of Zosha. I thought she was great. My dog Manusos coming in. Can't wait to see what kind of chaos he's going to be involved in. So yeah, no, this is definitely a show that you should check out if you have Apple TV. They do sci-fi so well, and I had no idea what this show was about going into it, so I was pleasantly surprised to see, like, whoa, like when that first scene where everyone's twitching out in the bar, like, that kind of sets the tone for what kind of show this is going to be. So really good, a lot of intrigue. I recommend it as well. Just goes to show how strong of a year this was, where Pluribus, like, realistically is a top 10 show, but just missed the cut for me. But yeah, no, great pick, man. I love to see that. You as well. I hadn't talked about it on the pod, so nice, good time to bring it up for sure. Now, Sig, my number 9 pick, and kind of now we're going back to Apple TV well, and not only that, but also in the sci-fi realm, which would be Severance Season 2 for me, which now I feel like this show is probably better than where I'm slotting it at compared to what else I'm going to have to rank here. There's going to be maybe a bit of recency bias for a few of my picks, but I do think Severance Season 2 is really good. And I'll kind of say to the same level as Pluribus, like, I was not always dying to watch the next episode. It was on the, I'm a few days behind, I'll get to it kind of thing. So that's where it came in for me as not higher on my list, is the amount of urgency I felt with watching the episode. And again, now, don't want to be criticizing my own picks or yours here, but Severance season 2 is great. Expands on the world building, gives our it really set the tone for the innie versus outie on another level, where now we had in this season Dylan's wife coming in to visit his innie and kind of had, okay, it's not an affair really there, but she kissed his innie, lied about going to see the innie. There's interesting dynamics there. We got the Helena and Mark love triangle. Mark choosing Helly over forget his wife's dead wife's name there, but it's been a while. So a lot of good stuff going on in this season, and I am very much so looking forward to season 3. I thought this was a great step in the right direction. Again, not as good as season 1 in my opinion, where everything was fresh, but it is hard with these kind of shows to deliver a great follow-up season when the first season is so well received, and I think Severance season 2 did that, so definitely deserves some love on here.
That's a fantastic pick, Eric. Yeah, Apple does do sci-fi really well. I love this show too, and we've had a whole episode on it, and I'm glad it's in your top 10. It's fantastic. My number 9 is a really great show. It's my number 9 because that just speaks of how good the rest of my picks are gonna be, and how strong the year was. But my number 9 is Daredevil Born Again. I thought this show brought Daredevil back to like something I was interested in watching, and like binging all the episodes because I was super invested into the show. Had a little bit of different arcs going on, but ultimately I loved how it ended. Loved Wilson Fisk's character, how it ends with him, like him going back to like what he was before. I thought Charlie Cox was great. Episode 1, like getting rid of Foggy right away was like immediately hooks you into the show. It has been a while since watching this, but like I remember when I was watching the episodes, like super invested in the episodes, flew by. Like I was really digging this show. Yeah, so it's my number 9, but that's just a testament to how strong the year was. Like this show to me was brilliant and cool action, good thrill. So yeah, number 9 is Daredevil Born Again for me.
Great pick. I think they did such a good job at bringing back all these characters that we've grown to love in the Netflix rendition of this show, and there was some kind of nervous energy in the building, I'll speak for myself here, about this show coming back. Is it going to reach those same heights that it had with the Netflix show, given that it was kind of the TVMA rating, brutal, gory violence in that show, which Disney Marvel doesn't always get into, right? But no, such a great job to stay faithful to that lore, expand it, and even they dealt with some like reshoots and I want to say showrunner changes in there. There's a lot of production hurdles that they had to overcome, and what they delivered on here, bang on job. Again, like you said, Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, the stars here. You can just tell how much these guys love playing these characters, and it really comes across on the screen for us. So super thankful that this show did make the comeback that it did. Already season 2 coming out in March. So, and season 3, I think they're already starting to film in anticipation of a 2027 release. So love that they're not doing what a lot of shows are doing and taking multiple years off in between seasons. Full steam ahead. We're in good hands with this Marvel wave of products for sure. Great pick. Number 8 for me. So now, some people might be looking at this, listen, and be absolutely disgusted that I have this show ahead of something as smart, unique, again, original, makes you think like Severance, but I don't care. You know what? We need more comedies in 2020, in the 2020s, really, let's be real. And this just absolutely did it for me. I'm going with Shane Gillis's Tires Season 2, which... Now, I had talked about season 2 earlier in the year, stating that it was a big step up from what season 1 was, in that I had started it but never even finished it because I thought it was a bit kind of over the top, wasn't that crazy about the humor. They took it to another level in season 2 where every single episode I was pretty much like having at least one good fit of laughter, where Shane Gillis, you know, he's got his style of comedy. It may work for you, it may not. For me, it just did. And there's a lot of pretty classic scenes that I see circulating on like Instagram as like reels that can be applicable for like workplace humor and stuff, or just stuff that happens in the workplace or whatever. And it kills me every time. Like this season was so good in my opinion. I think they got renewed for a third season. Can't wait to see it. Would love to see other comedians like of that, like Bert Kreischer. Who else? Anyways, there's other guys like that out there right now. They're Tom Segura, whoever. If they have like a strong following and can kind of get their own TV show made, a la Seinfeld, right? Like that's how a few of these guys got their the wheels going. Shout out Tires here. So yeah, no, Tires season 2. If you didn't love season 1, gotta give season 2 a shot because I thought it was much stronger. Super funny show. Number 8 for me, ahead of Severance.
Shoot, I'm kicking myself here. Like, I haven't watched this, and I was hoping to have seen everything on your list. So I'm writing that down, and I'm gonna be checking it out because I've only seen a bit of season 1. So I'm gonna be doing season 1 and 2. Yeah, I'm just mad at myself that I haven't seen this and can't relate to what you said. But a good laugh. Hey, this is our list. Who cares? It's super subjective.
Sure.
I love that you have Tires ahead of a show like Severance. And it's funny you mentioned Bert Kreischer. I think last night on Netflix, like a show just dropped with Bert Kreischer, like a fictional show.
There we go.
It's hilarious that you just said that. That's on Netflix. Okay, my number 8 is our first repeat. My number 8 is Severance season 2.
Nice.
So your number 9, my number 8, we were right there thinking the same thing. Yeah, this show delved more into the world, and you said it, the more the any outie battle or like paradox they show and the struggle, it was amazing. Like when Adam Scott's talking to himself through the video camera at the end, and Adam Scott did amazing. Like all the actors were fantastic in this show. Yeah, it's been a while since like came out earlier this year, but like vividly remember watching it with my girlfriend. Like we're like super into the show. Like okay, what's gonna happen? I like how they give us morsels, but there's still more to be revealed in the end. This one definitely more jarring of an ending than season 1, and maybe rubbed some people the wrong way and more decisive this season. But I'm a fan of this season. I thought it was great. So I mean, we already talked about it on both our lists. My number 8, Severance season 2.
Yeah, I mean, nothing really more to add there other than looking forward to season 3. If you haven't checked out our pod where we covered it, Severance Reverence was the name of the show. So we were both on our top 10s, and we're praiseful of this show. So check that out if you missed that. But yeah, no, great pick. Looking forward to whenever the next season comes out. So great stuff, Matt. Number 7 for me now. This one I kind of flip-flopped on. Do I want this higher? Maybe even lower, but I think it's comfortably coming in at 7 because, and we just talked about this not too long ago, Stranger Things season 5. Satisfying conclusion for me. Had some highs, not as many as shows above it. I think that's what is keeping it lower than these other shows I'm going to list later. But overall, the final season of this beloved show ended well in my opinion. Had a lot of good moments. Some characters, again, just going to cite Noah Schnapp, Jamie Campbell Bower, the two highlights of the season. They took their game to another level, and those are the two I'm gonna really remember from this season. And of course, like the show in general, it's ending off of what these two guys did, so deserve some praise there. And yeah, great ending for the show. Don't really know what else to say at this point, but I'm happy with how this show wrapped up, and I'm glad it's on my list, because it would have been pretty rough for me as a big Stranger Things fan to not have this represented there after the run that it had. And like season 4 was one of my top shows of 2022. If I were to redo that list, it might even be like number 2. So that's I'm glad I could have Stranger Things on here. All that to say.
Oh yeah, this is an iconic show when we look back on it, and 9 years of our lives, and amazing. Like it can't not be on the list. So maybe more to come. Yeah, I'm not going to say much more. My number 7. This is my stupid comedy. Well, not stupid. just my comedy show that's a guilty pleasure. I feel like this show was catered just for me with all its references. This is an Apple TV show. This is Seth Rogen in the studio. I absolutely love this show. I was watching it every week, and just with Mackenzie, my girlfriend, and like she was like, "Why are you laughing so much?" I'm like, "Oh, all these little references they're putting in, they're just hitting the spot. Just all the movie talk. It's like behind the scenes, basically, of a producer and an executive producer of a studio, and like every episode is super frantic and stressful, kind of like it. Some of the episodes had like an uncut gem, like Safdie feel to them. Like it was very frantic and hectic, and people like talking really fast and arguing and talking over each other, which I loved.
Yeah.
I thought Seth Rogen was great. I laughed out loud so many times, Eric. And again, the little like references and Easter eggs in there was perfect for me. Like when they're trying to shoot something and they're I feel like the show was made for me. So the studio at number 7, thought it was a brilliantly written show that was really funny and good characters.
Yeah, studio was great. I do agree though that it did have some of those frantic moments that Seth Rogen's freaking out. At times I feel like it worked for me. Other times I was a bit annoyed, but overall though, this was a hilarious show. Love the range of guests that they were able to get on there. And I swear, I don't know if you checked this out there, but the Golden Globes were not too long ago, and Seth Rogen and co, like they pretty much cleaned up in the comedy categories, and Seth Rogen won best male actor in a comedy series, and I was just waiting for him to thank Sal Saperstein. I don't know why that didn't come up there, but great moment in that episode where they literally had a Golden Globe episode in their show, so that was a funny one. Zoe Kravitz in there. Yeah, no, it was some really good stuff. Apple TV I think we've said it already there, but they're constantly pumping out some of the most consistent content in the TV game. It's if you don't have Apple TV, I feel like it's kind of worth canceling another subscription you may have in favor of Apple TV, because Studio was a great surprise for me. I didn't have this on my radar at all, and was definitely one that I enjoyed quite a bit as well for last year. Great stuff. So yeah, number 6, I honestly, I was going back and forth on this one and Stranger Things because they're kind of similar in a way, so that might be giving it away right there. But my number 6 is Welcome to Derry. Man, I really love this show. I was looking forward to it going into the year. I didn't know much about it. I just knew Skarsgård coming back. They were kind of keeping things close to the chest in terms of production. I didn't even know if this was actually going to be able to deliver on the somewhat level of hype that it had. And yeah, it exceeded that for me, for sure. I do not find it 1 and 2 scary. Every single episode I was scared at one point watching the show. The tension, and it wasn't necessarily even the visions that Pennywise kind of imposes on the kids and the adults even. It was kind of just the tension, the anticipation of something coming. It really worked. And then, man, it takes a few episodes for Bill Skarsgård and Pennywise to join the party, but when he does not hold back on anything. He was terrifying in this show, and you can draw the comparisons to Pennywise and Vecna preying on people's fears. You got to give the edge to Pennywise in this. I'm so complimentary to James Campbell Bower as Vecna, but man, Skarsgård was so scary in that I didn't know what this clown was going to do every any given scene, right? Edge of my seat, legit had goosebumps watching this show quite often. So good in this. I feel like he's not even going to get any recognition in terms of awards. So disgusting that this, because it's in the horror genre, maybe it's not going to get the recognition, but man, he was so good. And this show only ramped up too, which is why I kind of had to put it which is why I had to put it above Stranger Things, in that we had the peak with Stranger Things in that 4th episode with Vecna and Will, but nothing matched that later on, I found. Whereas with this, it was like episode 7, it was like legit straight out of Sinners when they're lighting that barn up on fire, and then Pennywise is standing in the middle of the flames with his periwinkle, and oh man, and the last episode was phenomenal in my opinion. A few little things you can nitpick with like the military and stuff, like there's maybe a bit too much going on, but overall I really enjoyed this show. Number 6, It Welcome to Derry. If you can handle some horror, I would strongly recommend. If it's not your cup of tea, it's probably not for you, because this was a scary show, I found.
Beautifully said, Eric. And I'm just gonna say it right now. Second repeat of the night. My number 6 is also It Welcome to Derry. So I'm gonna just keep going, bounce off you here. I loved Dick Halloran's character. Like, that actor did a great job. I love that they included the character from The Shining in this book, in this TV show. I loved the kids, like the camaraderie. It wasn't too much. They didn't focus too much on that, like they could have done, like from the It Chapter 1 movie, or like any coming of age movie. That was done beautifully. Some super heightened scary parts, but also some very emotional scenes. Like I said in our previous episode, like episode 7, I wasn't ready for that emotional. That kind of made me cry a little bit, like the fire. And not showing Pennywise, you said, not showing him right away was actually a genius move. Like, kind of like teasing him a little bit, and just, like you said, this show like crescendoed hard at the end at the right time. It peaked at the end. It didn't mountain, it didn't dive back down. It was really, really well structured. I even like that, like, creepy theme song at each episode. I would listen to the whole thing, like, that's just set the mood right up. Episode 1 was, you jump right in with the disappearance of that kid, and then, like, when he comes back and when he does that, it's creepy. Like you said, they had a scary moment every episode. And there's a scene with one of the students in the shop class and an eyeball, like that was like, that freaked me out. It was you said it all, Eric. Like, It Welcome to Derry was a great surprise of a show with a great finale. I like James Raymar as the military guy, Dexter's dad, that actor. James Raymar is a really good actor, and he was great in this show. Nothing more to say. It Welcome to Derry is also my number 6, so it's awesome.
Great pick. Yeah, great theme song. I never skipped that song. Like, that's another sign of it's like an extra little layer to a show. When you can nail that theme song and get the no skip, you got a winner on your hands. Yeah, no, really good stuff. I'm looking forward to season 2. I don't know if there's going to be a time jump for the next season or not, but I would kind of like if they stayed with this group. But if they do a new slew of characters, I'm all for it. I'll kind of just give a mild spoiler to the show here, so maybe skip like 30 seconds. But I kind of wish Pennywise had won, or I hope in the next season we get like an ending where it's a clear L for the heroes. But I don't know if that's really possible. But yeah, no, really good. There's so many great shots in that finale, like the wings, just the build up to the getting to the tree. Oh, it was so good. No, I love this show. Really good stuff. All right, top 5 time now. I feel like we got like a few more overlaps to come here, and this one, again, this is my latest show that I've watched, and it's slotting in at 5, and that kind of goes to show how much I love this show and how strong it was. You talked about it a few episodes ago. I'm gonna have to call in my attending Dr. Michael Rabinovich here, because The Pit is number 5 for me. Great show. I loved this show, Matt. It was obviously high expectations going into it. I'm not a medical or hospital show or movie guy for that matter, but this made it so enjoyable. And honestly, like, story-wise, I wouldn't say there's much of a crazy story. You're just following these ER doctors and a few nurses throughout their shift, a 12-hour and then some shift, in which every episode covers 1 hour of their shift. And it's just a ride from start to finish. Like, the amount of complex cases that come in. And like, I watched this with Andy. She thought, of course, a lot of it was truly realistic and the attention to detail was great. But she did say that the amount of complex cases and like how quickly things get resolved was a bit much. But hey, like, we're not watching to see what a legit shift is and all the administrative and the charting that they do you don't want to see that. You want to see the action. You want to see the crazy stuff, the maneuvers that only Dr. Robbie can pull off at the 11th hour, you know? But I feel like they towed the line between Hollywood and realism so well. And I would say this is kind of like a Sopranos-esque show in the sense that it's not about the story. It's just about hanging out with these characters and seeing what they get up to in their day-to-day antics. And I couldn't get enough. Like, when these episodes ended, I was bummed out. I'm like, damn, are you sure there's not another 15 minutes in this hour? But it was great. So, yeah, like, I could be here all day highlighting the characters and stuff, but really, really enjoyed the drama that unfolded. Like, yeah, obviously, like I said, there's some unrealistic stuff there. Like, Santos on day one is out here, like, kind of calling people out. Like, that was a bit much, but... You know, you gotta have some drama, like I said. So no, The Pit, season 1, number 5. You may be sick of it because you're seeing it advertised at every second commercial watching a hockey game, but honestly, it lives up to the hype. Check it out, even if you don't like medical dramas. Great show.
That's a great breakdown of the show, Eric. What you said about following the characters for every hour of their shift, like, to me, that's what intrigued me too. Like, I just like hanging out with them, and the format that they chose to present the show in, to me, that's the highlight. That was brilliant of them. And I didn't know how they're going to extend it to 15 episodes because I'm like, their shift is only 12 hours. But then what happens in those final 3 episodes was so intense. I was like right into it, loved it. Definitely deserving of all the awards it won. But yeah, I'm glad it's on your list. My top 5 for me. Now, my number 5 is a show I didn't intend on watching, but then I'm a huge fan of its original run, so I had to check it out. Number 5, I have Dexter Resurrection. I'm a big Dexter guy, even though the last few seasons of that show were disappointing. But Dexter Resurrection, to me, was Dexter back in peak form. Michael C. Hall doing his thing as Dexter was just beautiful to watch. I also watched the last standalone season before this, Dexter New Blood, and that I really liked. But this one I thought was much better. Dexter's in New York City. His son's there too. It's just really good stuff. There's other serial killers in the show. Peter Dinklage is one of the villains, and he's great in the show. Like, Peter Dinklage is fantastic. Loved watching him, as always. But Michael C. Hall, I just had a smile on my face the whole time, like him as Dexter. The reason why this show is so high up is because of the character of Dexter that I love, and his antics in this show and what happens was really fun to watch. Quick pace, entertaining. There's some good like kills and cat and mouse games going on, and it went by really fast. Like, this is so effortlessly watchable. But yeah, Dexter Resurrection is my number 5.
Nice, Matt. Did not see this coming. Good pick. Again, I've not seen any really of Dexter, so I can't add too much on there, but the amount of maybe spin-offs, movies that it's had just speaks to how beloved this show in this world is. And so no, great stuff. That's a blind spot on my end in terms of TV lore, but maybe something to get into down the line. But so for me now, number 4, another show I have not talked about on the program, is kind of holding on to this. Didn't know how high it would go, but then I was kind of thinking back, like, I really like this show. This was one that I had all the episodes are already out, but I binged this in like 3 days at most. So this would be HBO show that actually was intended to only be a limited series, but due to the response and high praise that it got renewed for season 2. So I'm talking Mark Ruffalo and Task here. So this was, if you don't know, a show in which Mark Ruffalo plays an FBI agent who's kind of been grounded. He's no longer leading investigations. He's kind of like pushing a pencil here. Like, he's the guy they put at the desk to recruit people. Basically, he goes to these conventions to talk about how great the FBI is to work for. And then he gets brought into this case in which drug houses are being hit by what looks like a crew, essentially. And you're kind of following both sides. Mark Ruffalo heading the investigation, and then, funnily enough, the guy's called Robbie, the guy who's hitting up all these houses. So I swear it's not Dr. Robbie. he did not turn around and become an attending at the Pittsburgh Medical Learning Training Hospital, whatever. So different character, but yeah, no, really, really good stuff. There's also the guy who plays Kristen Cole in House of the Dragon. He's a part of this task force investigating this, like, these hits on the cartel houses there. So it's just fun to follow the two sides, and then just seeing like there's the gangs that are being hit are kind of like, hey, who's doing this to us? So you actually have 3 point of views that you're following along, and as you learn more, you just see how tangled everything is, and who's dirty in there. Like, there's people feeding information from possibly within the task force. That's a thought process out there, like, hey, who can we trust? So there's a lot going on. Mark Ruffalo is so good in here. The actor who plays Robbie, I'll just shout him out too. Tom Pelfrey, really good. Emilia Jones, so I had blanked on her name a few episodes ago there, but she's the one who plays the main actress in Coda, and she's in Lock and Key as well. She's Robbie number 2's niece, and her dad is his brother who's killed, so there's a lot going on. He's kind of fathering her, but anyway, she's a great character in there too. So yeah, Task season 1, check it out for sure, and that's a second season that I'm definitely looking forward to whenever that comes out, if it's this year or next year.
You got me again, Eric. I'm definitely gonna check this show out. I have not watched it. Knew what it was, heard of it. Just kind of slipped on. Kind of forgot about it, and now I'm kicking myself because it's your number 4, so I'm definitely going to watch it next opportunity. Seems really intriguing, and yeah, I heard nothing but good things, and hearing you talk about it, I'm kind of kicking myself again now. Yeah. Number 4 is a show you definitely watch because it's a repeat, our 3rd repeat, I believe. Number 4 for me is Stranger Things.
Nice, let's go.
The reason it's so high is, like, to encompass all, like, I look back as this. I'm gonna look back even more fondly on the show, and I'm gonna rewatch it in years to come. And thinking about season 5, after our episode that we did on season 5, Eric, like I think I liked it even more after we discussed it, and I really like how they closed out this show, seeing our beloved characters again. They're all older now. It's like it was very sad to see the show end. And I did really enjoy it. And like looking at my other shows, I'm like, yeah, I gotta put this Stranger Things over them because. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but there was a lot of good emotional stuff to me, and to me, it had to be in the top 10, and it landed at number 4 for me. And yeah, like I said, our discussion that we had on it was so fun to do and to talk about it, and it elevated the show even more for me. I'm just going like the show's just rifling through my head right now. Like I kind of want to do a marathon one day where I binge watch everything and see them growing up like instantly in front of my eyes. That's going to be cool. But yeah, Stranger Things season 5, we talked about it a ton last 2 episodes ago, so that's my number 4. I'm glad it's on both our lists.
Yeah, agreed. I'm glad to see it's on yours, and that this high as well. Like for me too, and even like I said, Pitt number 5. We just watched Pitt, like, and we binged season 1 in less than a week, I'll say, or around a week. So that's so fresh in my mind right now that's why right now, like, I'm putting it higher. But Stranger Things could even be higher, honestly. So this is where 2025, we're just listing 10 great shows at this point. Anything could go anywhere, except for my number 1, I'll say. But that is just like, it was such a strong year in Stranger Things. I'm so happy that we're both on the same page with it. I'm seeing there's a lot of criticism about it online. We're not feeding into it. If anything, we're advocating for the other way around. So great stuff. Love to see it. Now, number 3 for me, I may be going like I did last episode with Life is Beautiful, Larry June, 2 Chainz here, downplaying how much I love this show. But for me, number 3 is another Apple show that you mentioned, Matt, The Studio. I absolutely loved this show. I was dying every single episode watching this. I said, yeah, the franticness was a bit too much. Who cares? It was so funny. Seth Rogen, I want to rewatch season 1, honestly, and what I loved about this is that the episodes weren't too long. I felt like they flew by. I was tuning in week to week, can't miss TV. He was so funny. And like I said, I think a big strength of this was the variety of characters and actors who came in and brought a good spice into the episode and the world that he's curated, and kind of looking at the different sides of the the film industry. It was really cool to get that behind the scenes look. And also, technically, I like how a lot of the episodes featured long, like oneers, right? Like one take, long shots. One of the episodes is a full one take, I'm pretty sure. So those are always cool to see when executed well. Sometimes, yeah, Seth Rogen was a bit annoying and like, all right, man, like just back off here. Let the actors do their thing, or the directors do their thing. He always had like a note to jump in there, but it was still funny. That's the charm and charisma of Seth Rogen, is that he can be annoying, but he still keeps you coming back because it's so funny. So yeah, Studio, awesome show. The episode where he's dating Rebecca Hall and she's the doctor and brings him out to this gala, and they're just shitting on the kind of movies that he produces, was hilarious. Like, I love that episode. He's trying to make the claim that what he's doing is just as important as them who are saving people's lives. It was pretty funny. So I just wanted to highlight that episode and what Seth Rogen brought to the table in that one. So good. If you haven't seen The Studio, I think it's must-watch comedy for sure, and just a great TV show. So yeah, number 3 for me.
I'm so glad it's that high on your list, Eric. That episode was great, like, because even at the end, he dies on this hill, and like, but what will they be showing in the hospital on the television in the waiting room? Movies and TV, you know, he's saying it's just as important in society. And I think there's a scene in that episode where he like falls over a table. I think I rewinded that like 6 times when he crashed. Oh my god, that was a great episode. Talked about it. We said at The Studio, it's a great show. You guys need to check it out if you haven't. And I wish the episodes were twice as long because they would always rip by so fast.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's the 4th show we have. So that's good. Maybe more to come. Going from super funny now to definitely the darkest thing on my list. This is a Netflix limited series. So my number 3 is Adolescence. I thought the show was so intensely done, but so well done. Talked about one take. These 4 episodes are all one take, different places in time in our little criminal investigation. This show starts off with a 13-year-old being arrested, and you think it's going to go a certain direction, but like the next 3 episodes don't go in the direction that you think it's going to go, and you get a lot of like trauma from the parents and what's going on with them after their son is accused of murder. And I thought the parents were fantastic. Anchored by Stephen Graham, who won a Golden Globe for this show. He was fantastic as the father. The last episode was the saddest to me. It really like hit home, like actions of another person, what the consequences are for the family and loved ones. It's been a while since I watched it, but I remember it being very dialogue heavy, but like good dialogue, intense scenes. The 13-year-old actor was amazing. He definitely got a lot of praises here for that performance, and just great TV in the sense that it emotionally shook me, and that's what I want from TV shows and movies. Sometimes I want to be like shaken up and be emotional and feel the powerful performances resonate through me. So Adolescence is my number 3. I thought it was superbly well done, and it's dark, but it's, like I said, it's great television.
Really good show, and yeah, there's not an iota of comedy in this show, and I honestly think humor would have been out of place here. You know, typically I'm someone who says like I need some humor in my shows or anything I watch really to offset if it's serious. Like I'll tend to not love something if it's not funny at all. I like this a lot. Never watching it again for sure, but it was really good. It's sad. It's like, the saddest thing about this is how it depicts a reality that a lot of, like, obviously it's an extreme example of like what someone who watches videos online or gets kind of down a rabbit hole of pushing a mindset and a mentality that, like, I'm sorry, objectively is wrong here. Like, I don't think that's crazy to say there, that if you believe the stuff that you're able to be brainwashed by and think that women deserve, like, violence against women is not okay. It's extremely sad and disgusting. And this show taps into that topic. And yeah, like it goes down paths that are scary, sad, disturbing, done really well though. For me, the standout episode was episode 3, where it's really just Jamie and the psychiatrist, the therapist. Like, they're stuck in that holding cell, going back and forth. Like, it was a scary episode where he's like yelling at her. I felt so bad for her. The actress did such a good job at conveying, like, okay, I'm here to talk to this kid and kind of try to get inside his head, see what he's thinking, what's pushing him to act this way. And yeah, I mean, the actor Owen Cooper, I hated his character so much, but that just goes to show how well he played the character. And there was something just sad also about how he, in talking to her, the therapist, he's like, but did you like me though? Like, what did you think of me? Like, do you like me? Just say you like me. It was like, man, this kid, like, he's acting a certain way, but all he wants is to be liked, or one of the things he wants is to be liked, like, which is relatable, but obviously the other stuff he got up to is not relatable and is just, yeah, disturbing. So, you know, I did think this was going to be on your list. Great show. Yeah, like I said, like, I'm not watching this again. I think there's a chance they might do a second season. Like, I'll for sure watch it, but yeah, no, it's intense stuff for sure. All right, but yeah, crazy stuff. So yeah, number 2, like I said, 5 overlap. It's here. We're in it now. Number 2 for me, Daredevil Born Again. Love this show so much. Like, I acknowledge that there's stuff that's wrong with it, in that the pacing can be off sometimes. I don't care at all. Every single week I was so into this show. I found the episodes rip by. And like I said earlier, there was a showrunner change here, so they had to deal with some production difficulties and did extremely well with that being a factor that affected their production. Love being back in this world with Charlie Cox, with Vincent D'Onofrio, and just seeing how they're always two, like, foil images of one another, and that, try as though they may, they always get pulled back into their alter ego, their inner beast, and there's no escaping that. And that's what I love about this show, is that these are two guys who, they kind of want to do the right thing, completely different approaches, and they're not necessarily wrong with what they want. It's just, I guess one is more wrong than the other, but they want to make New York a better place. It's just they have different points of views and perspectives, and better in their minds is just not the same thing. And they'll both go to extreme lengths to see their visions through, and I find that really interesting. And yeah, again, just great action. They brought all the characters back too. I kind of wish some of them were around a little longer, like Bullseye a little longer, rather than just like he's just really in maybe a few episodes. But they're teeing up future seasons, so that's fine. Can't wait to see what they do in the next season coming out soon. And yeah, really, really fun stuff. One of the best Marvel shows that they've done since putting out stuff on Disney Plus. So yeah, Daredevil Born Again season 1, number 2 for me.
I'm so happy it's on your list. I was getting word, actually. I was like, oh. Our 5th repeat as well. I loved, like, the behind the scenes of Wilson Fisk navigating the mayor's office, like that whole political world. That was cool. How, like, the politics of it all, I loved seeing that juxtaposed with Daredevil stuff. Like, that was, like I said, it was fresh every week and never boring. So happy it's your number 2. Now, I woke up this morning, I had to do a flip around of my 1 and 2 because, well, I'll explain when I get to my number 1. But my number 2 is our 6th repeat, Eric. My number 2 is The Pit.
Let's go.
Recency bias or not, like, this was an amazing show. Like, I kind of watched it. I kind of, like, binge watched this show. I think I was so invested. Like you said, it's more like hanging out with buddies and seeing them. I want them to do well at their job. I was nervous for the 3 students. I wanted Whitaker to succeed. You know, he's getting his scrubs all dirty every episode or 2, so that was funny. But I liked his arc. I enjoyed following their characters. To me, this was like going to work, but I didn't have to do any of the work. I just was a casual observer and seeing the medical industry. I know it is not an industry for me. There's no way in hell I could do this. I'd be terrified, like shitting bricks, stressed, and I don't know how Andy does it. I don't know how anybody does it. it freaks me out just thinking about it. But I love like watching it as a TV show. And I know it's probably not as intense in real life, or maybe more intense in real life. Who knows? I had a couple of gore shots where I was like, oh my God, like, nope. The constant action and like I was like getting secondhand, like, man, when did these guys go to the bathroom, go on a break, take a breather? Like, it's constant, like, oh, we need you here, go there, we need you that. Like, for my work is definitely not that frantic of a pace. Like, I know they get paid well, but at least I hope they do. But I was like getting sometimes secondhand anxiety just watching the show. And I loved, like, the finale was great. Like, the last 3 episodes were intense. Really simple. They show did a good job, Eric, and not being too touchy-feely and, like, relationship stuff and outside the hospital stuff. It really focused on the work, like you said, and it didn't go into, like, the cheeseball territory. I haven't seen any other medical dramas, but I'm sure those ones, like, I've heard, like, Grey's Anatomy can be a little relationship-y and, like, other shows like that. But this one focused on the work, and I appreciated every minute of it. So, yeah, The Pit, number 2.
Let's go. Love to see that it's this high for you. Like, I thought I was maybe throwing it up too high at 5, but it's such a good show where dialed in the whole time. I didn't even think they went too far with the gore, honestly. That's kind of one thing I was a bit worried about, is like, how nasty is this going to be? Because I find I have a harder time with medical gore, even just seeing needles go in people's arms. I don't like that at all. But they kind of didn't show us too much, I found, in season 1. Season 2 so far, I feel like they're already ramping it up more. I feel like this is going to be a gorier season if you've seen a few already. But, yeah, frantic, fun characters to follow along. Like, you're kind of rooting for all of them. I didn't want anything bad to happen to any of them. Of course it does. Poor Whitaker, like, just all of his patients dying out here. But that's another thing that I loved so much about this, is that it wasn't like, oh, Dr. Robbie's coming in and is going to save the day, or McKay's going to pull off this maneuver and everything's going to work. Like, no, there's a lot of death in this show. A lot of things don't work out. Even a win turns out to be a loss at the end, where sometimes it's like, hey, it worked out. Like, no, this person's going to die in like 6 weeks. We just prolonged their life a little bit. And then there's a lot of patients you're seeing, like, them not wanting to do kind of what's best for their parents, not wanting to let go. Like, they really touched on that's something Andy noticed as well. Like, they touched on every kind of scenario you would see was addressed in there. And, like, they really hammered home that the social worker angle as well. Like, every second scene she's getting brought up, but it makes sense, right? Like, these are difficult moments and you want the most support you can. Yeah, no, it was so good. Like, I enjoyed most of the characters in the show. They all had their moments. And me too. It was like 12-hour shift. I was kind of hoping that the last few episodes would be like a after hours, like, hey, we're going to the bars kind of thing, and kind of see them socialize. I hope we get to see a little bit of that in the next few seasons, but if they want to keep it contained, I'm all for it as well. But I will just say, like, at the end of this season, they had that scene in the park there where they're just gassing beers together. Like, I love that scene. Like, I do hope we get a bit more of that. And Robbie's like, "This was your first date." Like,
yeah,
it's pretty funny. And he goes like, "Oh, well, I know your next shift isn't going to be as bad as this one." Well, it's like, I'm pretty sure season 2 is not going to be a cakewalk out here. So, yeah, good stuff. Might have to do a pit pod at some point. We'll see.
There you go. I'm down for that.
Yeah. Because I want to talk about, like, all the characters, honestly, there, but
yeah,
got to get to business here. So, number 1, there's a chance we might have the same one here. Second season to a beloved show that came out a few years ago. The quality was so good in season 1. Bar was set high. There was a chance that is it going to reach that same height, even higher somehow? Who knows? Well, I think it met and exceeded what season 1 gave us, which was classic TV in my opinion. So for me, my number 1 show of 2025 is season 2 of The Last of Us. I really thought, I'm just kidding. It's
you got me. That was so good. That's a good description, though.
And so no, I mean, I hope people know what it is by now. It's Andor season 2, number 1 show of 2025 for me. No brainer. My God, this show is phenomenal. I love what they did too with, it was 4 releases weekly, 3 episodes at a time with a mini arc in it, and it only got better week by week. Or maybe you could argue that the third arc was the best one, the Gorman massacre, which again, talk about scary, kind of speaking to some things happening in the world right now, but in the Star Wars universe. That was a terrifying episode, and those 3 episodes were unbelievable. Just how now we're in the rebellion, where season one kind of just set the tone or introduced like how these characters are going to be brought in reluctantly, maybe not wanting to step in outside of their comfort zone and kind of push back against this oppressive regime. Season two, we're in it, and Cassian Andor has become, alongside Lunin, Stellan Skarsgård's character, one of the main leaders of the rebellion, and just all the dirty work he's doing out there. Unreal stuff. I'm for sure gonna rewatch this show from start to finish at one point, maybe next year or something, and then rip into Rogue One. But no, this was an unbelievable show. I really wasn't sure if this second season was going to be able to be as good as season one. And like I said, I think it was better than season one because of also how strongly it finished. I'm so sad we're never going to see. Well, never say never there, but that we're done with these characters. They made like Clea, who was a minor character in season one, out of nowhere, become this like badass. Speaking of nurses, which there weren't enough of them in season one of The Pit, actually. That's a kind of comment that Andy had. There's all doctors, no nurses. Well, Nurse Clea enter the scene, bring her over to The Pit. She'd fit right in. Absolute killer out there. Yeah, again, this is another show that we did cover in another episode. Could be here all day, keep talking about. But yeah, unbelievable. Undisputed number one of the year for me. Like, I love Daredevil season one. I thought it was really good. But Andor is so much better. And on every level, honestly. It was can't miss TV. Quality's top notch. Dialogue. You never know what's gonna happen at every corner. Deaths. No one's safe. So good. Even the people, like, there's some worry about the first 3 episodes when the seasons dropped. I was not worried whatsoever. I'm like, if I know, I think it's Matt Gilroy, his name, the showrunner, as much as I think I do, I may not even know his name. He's going to deliver here, and it was just to start it up. So, yeah, Andor Season 2, number one of the year.
Yeah, and I woke up this morning, Eric, and I realized my number 1 and 2 had to be switched because I had Andor as my second show, but I had to put it at number 1. Nice. Because for the sole reason of the highs in Andor Season 2 were much higher than the highs in The Pit. Mm-hmm. So I had to switch it up, and it's the right call. I'm glad it's your number 1. I was hoping it was your number 1. Holy crap, the show rocked. The last few, like the scenes with Clay in the hospital, like trying to get Lumen and like silence him, and like the scenes with K2, our beloved robot from Rogue One, and like just the finale was fantastic. But then like the whole Gorman affair with our Imperial agents, I can't remember any names right now because it's been so long, but that was amazing, emotional. I love the political stuff in Andor. I love the whole rebellion thing and fighting injustice and the counter-espionage, the all the subterfuge and the cat and mouse games, and like him getting Mon Mothma like out of there like fast. Like that was really cool.
Yeah.
This show is amazing. It had to be my number 1. After reflecting on it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is number 1 for sure. I watched Rogue One right after I finished this show, and it transitioned beautifully, Eric, and like I can't wait to do that for years to come. 2 quick seasons and then Rogue One. Like, what a fantastic show. Not just a great Star Wars show, just a great show in general. Star Wars for adults, with a lot of emotion and bone-chilling scenes that give me goosebumps. I love this show. I'm glad it's both our number 1s. We had 7 shows that were the same, and like we ended perfectly, I think, on the correct show, Andor Season 2. Very happy it's on there. Number 1, Eric. Yeah. We had a whole episode on it, guys, so you can listen to that. But, yeah, I got nothing else to say. That was a fantastic show.
So good. And, yeah, I mean, I set the bar too low at 5 overlaps. I'm sorry for the listeners that we don't have other shows to go over, really. But these were the shows, in my opinion. Like, your list, other than Dexter, because I haven't seen it there, but everything else was top 10. Could have been in the top 10 for me as well. The only other show, like I had a Peacemaker season 2, by the way. That was my show. I had a number 10. But then I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I like White Lotus season 3 more memorable. I feel like Peacemaker. I was even trying to think about it. I'm like, yeah, it was pretty good, but nothing like, classic about it. So yeah, I mean, other quickly shows that I would want to just shout out that I enjoyed a lot. The Bear season 4, I thought was a good return to form. I liked it more than season 3. Not as much as season 2. It might be my second favorite season of it, but I do feel like there's some Bear fatigue, even in the industry. I'm so happy it didn't win any awards at the Golden Globes. Like it's not funny, first of all. It's not a comedy, and there's better, funnier shows. Shout out Tire season 2 out there that you should be checking out as well. But it was still good. Last of Us season 2. It was pretty good. I think it was an enjoyable show, but no, it's no number 1. I can't believe you fell for that, Matt. And then I think that's it. Actually, those are the only ones that and Your Friends and Neighbors season 1.
Yes,
I enjoyed that show as well. That was a solid one.
I was gonna bring that one up. Another Apple one, I believe. Your Friends and Neighbors. That was fun to watch. I didn't think to put in my top 10 because it wasn't perfect throughout, but like very entertaining. Good show. There was another Netflix one that came out early last year, American Primeval with Taylor Kitsch. Really cool Western show, really fun. What was one you mentioned I also watched? You just brought it up. I can't believe I'm forgetting it. Anyways, the other good shows, The Bear, The Bear I thought was solid, but again, maybe Bear fatigue. I couldn't include it in my top 10, Eric. Like, White Lotus would have edged The Bear. Like, that would have been more entertaining for me. So, there was another good one on Netflix. Black Rabbit, I really like. Jason Bateman, Jude Law. Again, not a top 10er, but, like, very solid Netflix stuff. I feel like Netflix it had a lot of solid stuff, but other than Adolescence, like, it wasn't touching Apple this year. Apple slated this year. Think of all the top. We've had at least 3 in our top 10. And HBO always does well, obviously, but no, those would be the 2 highlighted studios for me, right? Like HBO and Apple, like they kind of crushed it this year. But yeah, no, and like trying with their fun, easy shows to watch that I would never include on my list, like Reacher or shows like that. They're just fun, but they're not too serious. Peacemaker, I did enjoy. I enjoyed Peacemaker season 2. This year I did a lot of catching up too. Like I'm caught up on Shrinking. Like I've seen it seasons 1 and 2. I want to see a third one. Caught up on a couple of shows you mentioned the previous year, Eric. So I'm glad I did that. Another good Apple show there is Shrinking.
Yeah, season 3.
Did you want to get? Did you want to get into stuff we're hoping comes out in 2026, or did you want to shout out if listeners submitted?
Yeah, I actually did have a few listener submissions. So the first ones are from the homie Klasin Ud. I'll just have to scroll up a little here. So she submitted House of Guinness, which is one I did want to check out. It's on Netflix as well. The Beast in Me, and then The Residents, which I've not seen any of those shows.
I've only seen The Residents, and I really enjoyed it. I think they canceled it though, but it was fun. It's good popcorn fun, but it's not top 10 worthy for myself, and I haven't seen the other 2.
Okay. So no, thank you for that. The next one was from the homie Will Coleman. He submitted our number ones. Andor, he said that was the best show of the year, and then Daredevil Born Again was another pick that he submitted. So 1 and 2 for me. Then got a few others from some work homies. So actually also Cornell, my guy, he submitted Andor season 2 as well. So then a show from 2 of my work homies, Vorum and Islam. They said Last Samurai Standing, which I've heard of. It's a Netflix, I think, limited series it's a samurai show essentially. So I do want to check this out. I feel like it's akin to Warrior for me from a few years back, which apparently the action in this show is unreal. So that's what people are saying about it. Last Samurai Standing. If you want like a nice samurai action show, check this out.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out, yeah.
And then
I'll have to check out Warrior.
And then Vorum also submitted Wednesday season 2, which I've not had a chance to check out. Did you check it, Matt?
Yeah, it was fun to watch, but no more than that. Like it was very serviceable, serviceable, easy to watch, but nothing that I would consider for my top 10 because it didn't touch the heights of the other shows that I spoke about.
Fair enough. So now those are our submissions from the people. Thank you very much. Always like when you respond to the stories. Give us some of your insights on the year that just passed. Again, strong year 2025. But yeah, no, for now, looking ahead, 26. So you just mentioned Shrinking. Season 3 is coming out, I think, very soon, actually.
Perfect.
So I'm looking forward to that. There's well, right now, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms on HBO has started to air. I watched the first episode. I liked it a lot, honestly. I'm very much looking forward to seeing this show roll out. It's a much smaller scale Game of Thrones, boots on the ground level show, and I hope it stays this way. Honestly, like, it's already renewed for season 2. I hope this does not become an ambitious show. I hope they really keep it small. Like, Sir Dunk is going off to the next, or he's saving this village, whatever. They go like Seven Samurai style. Little mini side quest for these two, like Dunk and Egg. Anyway, so great stuff. I really like the first episode. I like the comedic vibe to it. It's like the episodes are going to be shorter too, and I thought it was quite funny, the first episode. Daniel Ing's in there too. He just keeps popping up and everything. So no, great to be back in the Game of Thrones world. We'll do a pod on that. I feel like that and House of the Dragon season 3 can loop those two together, see what's better. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to House of the Dragon season 3. I'll just throw that out there too. But
me too.
Yeah. I'm liking this though. I'm liking this right now a lot.
We're getting two Song of Ice and Fire world shows. It's gonna be great. I liked Night of the Seven Kingdoms too. It was painfully short, the episode. I swear it ended. I'm like, there's no way. It just started. Oh, these episodes are gonna be much shorter. Oh crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I liked I know the lore of Game of Thrones. My girlfriend Mackenzie, she's like, "What are all these names?" I'm like, "Oh, you'll see." Like I was explaining to her who the Baratheons are and all that. But yeah, no, a good little appetizer so far. House of Dragon season 3. That's gonna have a lot to prove. Like I want it to jump to the next stratosphere of winning elite television because I don't think 1 and 2 is like elite level yet.
No.
So I have high expectations for that. I have high expectations for the animated Darth Maul show. I can't wait to see that. They've already announced they're dropping like 2 episodes a week leading up to May 4th, I believe.
Yep.
That should be cool. Like I'm high hopes for that show. I think 2026 is gonna be a huge year for movie and TV. That season 2, it's already starting. Like I'm watching that. That's gonna be good. Hopefully, so far it's just as good as season 1, but it's only the first 2 episodes. We get flooded with so many TV shows every year, Eric, and it's our job to pick and choose the new ones to start because our time is limited and we have only so much time to watch stuff, so we have to be very choosy. And it's good that we update each other every pod we do on okay, we should check this out. No, I'm excited for next year. I didn't know Shrinking season 3, that's a big one for me. I thought that show would have made my list had I watched it in the years it came out. Big fan of the show. Can't wait to see what other new originals are going to come out too. I'm blanking on other stuff that's going to come out, but I'm very excited.
So I got one more for this year coming up. I'm so pumped for Maul. Also, I'll just say I can't wait for that show, and I love that release format, 2 episodes a week. Love that. So another good show that if you haven't seen season 1, this is either 2023 or 22. I want to say 23. Beef season 2 coming out in April. So that's gonna be probably a rewatch season 1 show. Honestly, it's been so long. That was a hilarious show. And yeah, Beef season 2. So the cast is gonna be Oscar Isaac, Carey Mulligan, Kaylee Spaney, and then Charles Melton, who I'm not familiar with, but the 3 of those 4 I do know. So I can't wait for that. High bar, obviously Beef season 1 quite beloved, but I think given the fact that it's an anthology series, it can reinvent itself and not really be tied to season 1. It's just it's a different slew of hooligans who have beef with one another. So I'm looking forward to that one as well for sure. And then other surprises we'll see. I don't really know. I didn't prep enough for season, like subsequent seasons of shows. Like there's the Rings of Power. I'm not sure if that's coming out this year or not. If so, it'll be late in the year. But I'm excited for that. I'm pretty sure Harry Potter is now next year. I think initially it was going to be 2026, but I think it's a 27 show. But that'll be one I'm really, really looking forward to for sure.
Oh yeah, I think the whole world is.
Yeah, the Wizarding World and Muggle World.
That show has so high expectations that like I hope they deliver, but that's gonna be interesting. Yeah.
Euphoria season 3, gonna check it out, but tempered expectations here. It's been so long. Do we care anymore? Really? Do the actors have they bought in? I watched the trailer. It looks kind of outrageous, honestly, but I'll tune in. I'll tune in for sure. See what's up. But yeah, it looks pretty nuts.
I feel like a lot of the actors from that show like made it big, and like I don't even know if they'd want to come back and do it. Like Jacob Elordi is a huge actor now. Sydney Sweeney, like I don't know. I like season 1 and 2, and even like some of the characters are not even still with us, right? So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to be done.
We shall see.
Either way, there's going to be new gems to dig up and discover, and I'm definitely going to check out Task because you said season 2 might be coming out.
Yep.
So that'll be my homework for that.
Good stuff. So I mean, I think we're good on the TV front. There's always surprises that come out as well. Random things no one had on their radar, and then they come to find out it's universally revered, and then it's like, all right, let's tune in. So I'm looking forward to whatever else is out in 2026. Like you said, already off to a strong start, movie and TV show wise, and and I'm very excited for what's to come this year. So we can get into some recommendations. Anything that you want to share with the people, Matt?
Just quickly, I have since we had our book episode like 3-4 episodes ago, and I'm starting off this year much stronger on the reading front. I'm on my third book. Third book right now that I'm on is The Three Body Problem, though.
Hey,
a book that you recommended. Yeah.
Let's go.
I am definitely not finding it easy to read, but not like I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued, Garrett. Like I'm at page 100 or so.
Okay.
Like I'm definitely like not bored. I'm just more like, where is this heading? And I have faith because you read the trilogy and liked it, and I'm going to read it too. I'm fascinated by the book so far in terms of like I don't really know what's going on, but I'm interested. I also read a nonfiction book by Quentin Tarantino that I really liked, Cinema Speculation. That was great. He writes like he talks, like this all over the place sometimes, but it's really good. So on the reading front, I'm doing well. And movie-wise, I'm trying to hit now the heavy hitters for 2025 because that's our next episode.
Yep.
So I'll talk about one movie here, the Park Chan-wook's new movie, the Korean director. There's a movie called No Other Choice, which was fantastic in my opinion. It's basically about a guy who loses his job after so many years, and then the measures he goes to like keep his lifestyle and not like derail. It's basically a movie about him derailing and doing very questionable things to like keep the image of his family going and like surviving basically, and this is what he feels he must do. But what I liked about this movie is the cinematography and how it's shot, and the lead performance by Lee Byung-hun, who's a really famous Korean actor. He was in Squid Games. He's in that movie I love, I Saw the Devil. He's in a ton of Korean movies. He's great as our leading character. So that's No Other Choice. Park Chan-wook is a really famous director, did Old Boy like 20 years ago, has done really good movies like The Handmaiden, Sympathy for Mr. Devil, Lady Vengeance, Old Boy, Stoker, Thirst. These are all like maybe artsy movies to some, but like they're really like well shot and stuff. So that's No Other Choice from 2025. I really, really dug it.
Nice. No, I really want to check this one out for sure. It's one that unfortunately got shut out, I think, at the Oscars I don't think it got a single nomination, or maybe like a few, but the consensus is this was a snub. But I've only heard really good things about this, so I do want to get out there and see it. Doesn't play in the landmark around like in Orleans there, so I might have to go out to Canada, check that out. But it's on my radar for sure. And like, I'm seeing you're on that 2025 grind. There's a few more of those ones that you're watching that I want to watch, but I'm almost there. I've seen most of them, but yeah, that's the kind of the vision for me going forward is check out some 2025 movies, and this is definitely up on the list for sure. So I'll just say for me too, reading grind off to a great start. I've read a few books. I'll throw one out there. If something I've been struggling with and I want to do is find good novels in French, and I find that I've taken a few of them out of the library and I started reading. I even give it like 50, 60 pages. I'm just not into it. But this one I feel like I struck gold with La Librairie des Chats Noirs. So it's a great book. It's a giallo, if you will, Matt. It's a murder mystery novel, like in which the main character owns this bookstore, in which, you guessed it, there's two black cats who are like parts of the library essentially, and his bookstore universally deals with the romans policiers, like detective novels. So there's a serial killer on the loose. You're kind of getting chapters from his point of view, seeing how he goes about his business and selecting his victims and murdering them essentially. So it's pretty brutal, honestly. Like those chapters were disturbing to read, and I was like fully wanting this guy to get killed brutally, if I might add. And then there's an investigation, so there's cops investigating, and then this guy who owns the bookstore, he's kind of pulled into the investigation, which, yeah, it's a bit unrealistic there, how he's getting insider confidential level access to the files of these murders. But anyways, who cares? I really enjoyed it. It was a nice, easy read, around 300 pages. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah, La Librairie des Chats Noirs. Fun read, good French novel. I kind of want to find more books like this. Like, they don't always have to be like these murder mystery novels, but it was a digestible read. And yeah, my first French book of the year, which my goal is to read 12 French novels this year, French books.
Oh, wow.
So I've got one down. If I can do one a month, I'll be A-okay. So Jan, I'm good. But now I want to find another one soon. So if anyone actually has any good French novel recommendations, hit me up, please. I'll gladly take them. But yeah, so that's my first recommendation.
Damn, I'm going to have to check that book out. I would also like to read in French more and read in general, so that sounds like a perfect book for me to check out. I'll have to look at my local library, which I have gone to finally, the Harper Library. Bigger selection than I thought, and I'm definitely like, why hoard books and buy them when I could just bring them back when I'm done, you know?
Exactly.
So, yeah, so far I have like the Three Body trilogy lined up, and I actually got the Fourth Wing, the first novel for Christmas. So I'm going to be reading those 4 books, I believe. There's 4 of them.
3.
Or 3?
3.
So 3. So I'll check those. I feel like I can rip through those ones faster
Big
than the
books.
Three Body books.
Yeah, yeah, for
That's
sure.
awesome.
They're big books, though. Some hefty dragons. I have a few movies I'll just quickly rip. F1, I checked it out. One of my favorite Apple movies I've seen, honestly. Like, just a cool and fun movie that I feel like would have been cool to see in theaters because it's high octane energy. Though it's the same director as Top Gun Maverick, right? Joseph Kosinski.
Right.
And the way the scenes on the track are filmed, they just get you going. Like those tight turns are like, is something gonna happen here? Like you're kind of always at the edge of your seat. So from that point of view, it was really, really great. I'd say overly long though. Like I would have shaved 20 to 30 minutes out of this, but still a fun ride. Okay. Brad Pitt, the man. I mean, any movie that he's the leading guy in is typically enjoyable. You're gonna have some funny moments. He just has that aura, right, of the leading man, the guy everyone's looking up to. All the girls are looking at him. It's like they're kind of the Damson Idris or whatever. He's kind of like the rival driver. He's like this young guy, and he's like, oh, who's this geezer? And his mom's like, he's not that old. And it's like there's some funny moments in there for sure. So F1, I'd recommend it, Matt. Honestly, like, it's a fun rip, but it's not a movie you want to be like critically analyzing. Like, there's some unrealistic and kind of dumb stuff at times, but I enjoy it overall. My next one will be 2026 movie, which I feel like we're off and running in 2026, where I said in my movie review, at this point last year, You're Cordially Invited was my top movie of 2025. And that doesn't hold a candle to this rom-com Andy and I just watched, People We Meet on Vacation, starring Emily Bader, and Tom Blyth, who plays Coriolanus Snow in the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Really good stuff, honestly. Like, it's again in the F1 vein of like unrealistic, dumb at times. But if you want a nice modern day rom-com, look no further. Great chemistry between the two leads. I was a big fan. Thought it was pretty funny, honestly. Had those classic rom-com, like, insane situations you find yourself in that wouldn't happen in real life, but you roll with it in this movie because, like, that's what you want to see. You want to see the unrealistic stuff. And it's about these two friends who they made a vow to once a year they go on a vacation together, basically, regardless of what their relationship statuses are. And you're kind of going through memory lane with them to see, like, we're starting off in the present, and then we go back in time, like 9 summers ago, how they met. 7 summers ago, they went on this trip, and so on and so forth, bringing them all the way back up to the present. So you get a really good glimpse at their dynamic. And obviously, like, this is a rom-com, right? So it's two friends, but where does it go? Like, is it possible to not have any feelings for one another? They explore that angle. Actually, another character in the movie is played by Sarah Catherine Hook, a.k.a. Piper from White Lotus Season 3. So she was in there, the daughter of the Ratliff there. So, no, I'd recommend it, honestly. I'd also say, though, maybe a little too long. I feel like it should have ended earlier than it does, but I enjoyed it. Solid movie. Good first movie to rip off in 2026.
Yeah, I read your review, Eric, and I enjoyed reading it, and I'm gonna have to check it out, as well as F1. I want to watch both those movies you just talked about.
Yeah.
I saw F1 got nominated for Best Picture, so I was like, oh,
crazy.
Like, everyone who's seen it that's liked it says it's super entertaining, and the only negative stuff I've heard are from diehard F1 guys that I work with that just criticized all the technical stuff. I'm like, dude, I'm not watching the movie to see the technical stuff. I just want to see a fun movie. And Brad Pitt's one of the biggest movie stars we have right now, and he's always good and great and cool. So
Exactly.
no, I'm definitely gonna check those two out before our. We're definitely gonna check out F1 before the end of the year show.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have much else to. Last night we almost threw on the rom-com, but then I decided to throw on Lord of the Rings 1.
Nice.
Well, actually Mackenzie's idea, because she hadn't seen it in a while, and because tomorrow I'm going to the theater to see the third movie extended edition at the theater.
Good.
So this is what my day is looking like tomorrow. I'm going to wake up at noon, go see Lord of the Rings, and then go to work, because I work Sunday night. So it's going to be a crazy day, but totally worth it. I don't care if I'm tired. It plays at 1 o'clock in Canada. I'm just going to go straight to work because I start at 7, and the movie's like 4.5 hours long, so it's going to time out beautifully. I don't care if I have to drive through the snow. Yeah, I'm going to be joyous watching this movie at the theater. By myself, I might add. I don't give a shit.
Let's go.
There's barely any tickets left. So tonight I might rip the second one, but it's not. I don't need to. Like, the movie's great in my head. But yeah, I had a blast watching the first one last night. Yeah. No, I can't wait to see this movie in the theater again, Eric. I'm beyond excited.
That's unreal. I kind of want, like, it's playing, like, those 3 movies are playing every single day. It's one of them is playing at Landmark. I kind of want to go see at least one of them. It'd be so fun to do. So it's on. I don't know how long they'll be in theaters for. I think today it's Two Towers Day. So yeah, tomorrow it's Return of the King. So
it's a commit.
It's a commit for sure. I can't tomorrow. I can't tomorrow. I'd love to go with you on that one, but I can't tomorrow. Going to the Sens game, but nice. Now that'll be fun. That'll be awesome. Yeah. Nice.
Oh man. Yeah, like I don't know if there'll be an intermission, but like I'm like, but
kind of
leaving my house to drive, like that's almost a 5-hour day for me. Just that, and then I'm gonna grab a bite and head right to work. But like I had to do it just because it's extended edition in the theater, something I've never seen. So yeah. That's all I have to recommend. I can't wait to do our next episode. We'll talk about lots of movies, guys, and I hope it's going to be just as entertaining as this episode.
Absolutely. So yeah, no, I guess that's it as well on my end there. Movies, got a few more to watch, but looking forward to getting into those top 10 movies of 2025 with you all next time. Yeah, Matt, any final notes to the listeners?
I want to thank you guys for listening to the episode. Eric, I had a great time talking with you about the TV shows. It was super fun. It went by so fast. I hope everyone liked our talk too. I want to thank everybody who submitted a TV show for 2025. Thank you so much. And thank you for listening to our podcast. We really appreciate it, guys. And I hope you're enjoying winter right now and everything's going great in your lives.
Well said, Matt. So yeah, thanks a lot, everybody, for listening. Stay tuned for episodes dropping every 2 Mondays. Continue, stay warm. It's freezing out there at the time of recording. Next episode, I'll actually give a kombucha update. I forgot I wanted to do that, but it's too late now at the end of the episode. And yeah, peace.